In 2025, this year, I saved over $2,000 by using my favorite public resource, the library. That's my tax dollars at work. But this video is not about budgeting. After all, I'm a developer, not an economist or a financial advisor. However, this video is about the code that proved it. That proved that I saved over $2,000 by going to the library. I tracked 3 data sources. 1, the SF Public Library. I got the books that I checked out and when I checked them out. 2, Goodreads. I compared books ratings that I put on Goodreads, and I also got some extra book data. I also used Strava. I tracked workouts, sports I played like pickleball, tennis, running, swimming, walking, biking, skiing, and more. I also got data like heart rate, incline, distance traveled, and more. Data's fun. My goal with all of this data, to use data I care about to create a slightly chaotic but extremely personalized 2025 wrapped dashboard complete with data visualizations and an AI chat agent that I can ask questions about the data. I use Streamlit for the front end. Streamlit is a Python framework for building web apps in Python. Playwright to log in and scrape the SF Public Library website so I could log in and get the book data because they don't have an API. And DigitalOcean's grading AI platform for the LLM-generated wrap-up and AI agent chatbot. Let's see it in action. With some data visualizations, we see that I checked out 96 books from the library. And I gave books like The Wedding People by Alison Espach 5 stars, but intermezzo, not rated. A lot of not rateds here. Did not finish Bowling Alone. What is up? I combined that library data that I scraped with Goodreads data. So 59 library checkouts I did not read. 38 I read. That is 39.2% of library checkouts that I actually read. Whoops. Okay. Top authors I read included Taylor Jenkins Reid 3 times, Ali Hazelwood, 2 books by her. Okay, my wrap up. Wow, what a year. I crushed it with 97 library books checked out. That's a whopping estimated savings of $2,231 with average book price of $23. When I was not turning pages, I was getting fit with 433 workouts, 379 miles of riding, 215 miles of running, with some pickleball and yoga squeezed in. Woo. You're probably wondering how I have that many workouts. I run, bike, and walk as a means of transit. I don't have a car. Goodreads 2025 reads, a lot of books and the dates that I read them. The original publication year, a lot of 2025. My rating, number of pages, and these are all books that I read because we're going to see soon the Goodreads data that I exported gives a lot of data, and it also includes books that I added to different shelves, like to read, so I did not read them, but I want to read them later, and books from previous years. So I just wanted 2025 reads. Ratings distribution from Goodreads. I rated 7 books 5 stars, 39 books 4 stars, 34 books 3 stars, 1 book 2 stars, and 1 book 0 stars. Books read per month. In April, I read 12 books. That was a good month. In December, I've only read 1 book, so I've been slacking. Here is a scatter plot where I plotted books around the month that I read them in. So Can't Help Faking in Love was around July. Strava 2025 workouts. I rode my bike 116 times, walked 96 times, ran 74 times, tennis 72 times, pickleball 14, swimming 12. I also alpine skied, but it did not track distance miles there. Pickleball, I ran 4 miles in. Average distance of an activity was 5.3 miles. Average speed, miles per hour, was 1.17. Max speed, miles per hour, 13.68. Total elevation gain, that's a lot of meters. Average heart rate, max heart rate, total calories, and by month. So I had 54 activities in January. I broke that down by month by type. So I had 18 bike rides and 10 runs in January. We can see that here. 13 walks, 18 rides in January. I played tennis only 10 times in May. I guess I played the most tennis in October, 15 times. I like this graph because it's how many books did I read in a month versus how many workouts did I have in a month. In July, I read 5 books, but had 33 workouts. Very interesting. And of course, we have a grading AI-powered chatbot here, so I can ask it questions about this data. What books did I rate 5 stars this year? The Amalfi Curse, which I finished on November 10th, 5 stars. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. People of Means by Nancy Myers, that was a good one, back in June. Revenge of the Tipping Point Malcolm Gladwell. Oh, I didn't think I rated that 5 stars. Sunrise on the Reaping. Suzanne Collins back in March. 5 stars. Oof. Let me know what you're reading in the comments. You're probably asking, how did I acquire this treasure trove of data? Let's dig into it. This link, which is linked in the YouTube description on Strava, says account download and deletion. We're not deleting, we're just requesting a download of all of my activities. You have to be logged in to use that link. Then we will write some functions to parse that data because it's a lot of data and it has data that we don't want for a year-end wrap-up. Data not from 2025. Then for Goodreads, you can export your Goodreads library and it will include books on other shelves, like books that are on your to read and books from other years. So again, we'll write some helper functions to clean up that data. Because we exported those CSVs, you could add that directly to your agent. I made an agent in the Gradient AI console. DigitalOcean's Gradient AI platform is an agentic cloud SDK that gives developers a straightforward way to train models, run inference, use GPU droplets, connect knowledge bases, like data that your LLM was not trained on. It could be like different documents, CSV files, PDFs. You can scrape websites, and Gradient AI will do that for you. So it will scrape it for you and then embed that and just give your LLM access to data that it was not trained on before. It helps you build agent-powered applications, and the Agentic Cloud API lets you programmatically create and manage all these resources, like serverless endpoints, GPUs, agents, all of it. It also supports streaming responses over server-side events, or SSE, so your apps feel fast and interactive. Overall, it's just a clean way to build and ship agentic AI on DigitalOcean. It's called Lizzie Library Goodreads Strava Wrapped 2025. It has a public endpoint. It also gives me the script to embed into my website. It was pretty hard to embed it in Streamlit. So what I did was I made a simple static website that just had that floating widget in the bottom right. I deployed that static website to DigitalOcean app platform over here. And I took this URL and then I added it to Streamlit in Markdown as an iframe. So this is my DigitalOcean app platform floating chat widget. And that's how you get that in Streamlit. Back to our agent. To add resources to our agent, we made a knowledge base. You could just add CSVs directly, and Gradient AI embeds the data and then adds it as knowledge to your agent. You could also have a public URL and then pass that as a data source for a knowledge base, and then Gradient AI would scrape that, crawl that, embed that text, and then you could perform RAG, retrieval augmented generation, with that data. I feel like only a few months ago, I was scraping a lot of data, and then I had to perform an LLM call to embed it and check those embeddings, store those embeddings in a vector database, and then retrieve them. No longer do you have to do that. Gradient AI does it for you. Okay, let's look at our data. So here is activities.csv, which is my exported Strava data. We see that a lot of the data is from 2019, 2020, and it gives you a lot of information like max heart rate, relative effort, is it a commute? I don't actually mark if it's a commute or not. Gear, elapsed time. We have some functions to clean that up, so we only get 2025 for our 2025 wrapped. We also have our Goodreads library export, and this has so many books because they're all on different shelves. I have a lot on my to read, so I have not read them. And I've also added them in different years, like 2023. So we have some functions to clean that up, to only get books that are on my read shelf, so I've read them. And also, I read them in 2025, not 2024. Library data, what books I checked out from the library, and then I added my ratings to this CSV. I got the ratings from Goodreads. How did I get the data from SFPL, SF Public Library, you ask? It's not on Goodreads, there's no API, there's no export. I used Playwright, I opened up a headless browser, launched that with Chromium, and then I had that page go to the SF Public Library user login. I have my username and password hidden here as environment variables, so you can't have them. But the headless browser can then automatically log in for me. Then after it's logged in, it goes to this website, recently returned, page 1. For each page, it scrapes for the titles. And let's actually look at this website so you can see the steps that the headless browser takes. I passed it the XPath. for the text box for the username and the text box for the password, and also the login button so that it can programmatically click and type into those. And after that, it opens up this website, my recently returned books, and it scrapes all the titles that were checked out in 2025. Then it clicks this next button, and it loops through until it gets to a date that was not 2025. I think it's pretty fun to scrape. It's a way to get more data, and we as developers love data. And we also get the local CSV data, and then we make different objects that we can pass to the LLM, that we can create data visualizations with. Generate content is where we pass in the library data frame, workout stats, then we also merge the ratings. Generate LLM wrap up. That is where we use Gradient AI to make an LLM call. And here's the prompt. We pass it library data frame and workout stats to generate a brief year-end wrap-up paragraph for the user based on their Strava activity. Gradient AI makes it really easy to replace different models if you don't like the model that you're using. You just have one API key to access Anthropic, OpenAI, Llama, and more. Some of our helper functions clean up a lot of that data. CleanBooksDF. This function takes a raw data frame and performs some data cleaning and normalization. It ensures that specific columns like date read, my rating, and number of pages are converted to the correct data types, like date time or numeric. Then it filters the data frame to keep only a standard, useful subset of columns, returning a clean, ready-to-use book list. Next, we have Compute Book Stats that takes in the cleaned book data and generates a summary statistics dictionary. It calculates key metrics like your average rating, the total number of pages you read, the number of pages in the longest book, what was that book, a list of your top 5 authors, then it returns that gracefully onto Strava helper functions. You have Clean Workouts DF, which is like the main data cleaning and transformation function that performs a few critical steps, filtering the input data to keep only the essential metrics that we want, like distance, time, heart rate. We have type conversion, converting workout dates to date time objects in all measurement fields, like distance, calories, to numeric types. Then activity categorization that uses regular expressions to categorize generic activities to specific sports, because Strava does not have tennis option. So a lot of the times my Strava workout will have tennis or pickleball in the title, but general workout as a type. If the title has tennis, this classifies that as tennis. Compute Workout Stats calculates a comprehensive dictionary of annual summary statistics. How many times did I work out this year? Total time this year? How many miles this year? Average distance this year. So it's like a clean data object summary, like max speed, total calories burned, total time, total distance. And that is the clean object right there. Here we have compute activities per month by type, which prepares the data specifically for that time series visualization, like how many activities did I have in January, February, March, April, May, June, etc. And it formats that for a very clean Streamlit dashboard. A lot of the visualizations are in the Streamlit app file right here. There's our chatbot rendered. Here we have our interactive monthly chart, books read in different months. That was like a scatter plot of the authors and the books around the month that I read them in. The stacked monthly chart, my favorite. Which activities did I have in each month? Tennis, pickleball, how many times did I have all of those in one month? Of course, we want to avoid rerunning the slow scraper every time that the app loads if we can. The scraping process is slow and resource intensive because it launches a browser each time. If 100 people visited this site, then it would run 100 times. Streamlit caching helps solve that. To recap, we used Playwright for scraping, the SF Public Library webpage to get all the books that I checked out this year, Streamlit for the front end, so it's easy to build a Python web app, caching for speed, and DigitalOcean is grading AI for their chatbot and their agent knowledge bases via CSV file and also URL if we wanted. DigitalOcean grading AI LLM inference to generate our year-end 2025 wrapped with all that different data from Goodreads, Strava, and the library. Thank you, Goodreads and Strava, for being products I use very often. And also thank you to the library. What data would you track if you wanted to build your own life wrapped for 2025? And how much money did you save by going to the library this year? I'm Lizzie. I'm a developer advocate at DigitalOcean. Happy hacking, happy building, and happy 2025.